Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's entertainment headcanon. We're not talking about Dark Knight, though.
You're gonna make a pen disappear?
voice. Yeah. Welcome to headcanon.
Are we doing a theme song now?
Headcanon. We got headcanon. We got headcanon. Okay, that's bad. We gotta hire Nick Cannon. He knows what to do. He's on the drum line.
One of his 30 kids to help sing the song.
A legacy. But yes, today we're talking about Andor. I just finished watching season 2. So did my co-host here. We both just finally finished watching Andor season 2, and wow, the hype was real. People were talking this up as it's the best Star Wars since the original trilogy. And I have to say to that, the prequels is still really good and just as good as the original trilogy. But I will say this is as good as the prequel trilogy. Like, since Revenge of the Sith, this is probably the best new Star Wars. Well, Rogue One too, so everything connected to Rogue One is pretty good.
The best movie that came out during that time. It's and it connects right to it, and it's the show. It's like it had that old theme.
No lightsabers ever.
No, and no Force. They hinted at the Force, and the Force was mystical. Because you get in the prequel trilogy. Yeah, because in prequel it's like Jedi. And these, it's like the original trilogy is more of this mystic creature, what a Jedi is. And they hinted around at the Force using Force healers and all that. But the story, the treason, the rebellion, the act of wars, the fucking genocide. Dude, they had everything. We had a World War II fucking action movie in the setting of Star Wars.
Viva la Resistance, the French Revolution.
Yeah, and that's a made-up language too.
Yeah, I thought it was French. They made it sound very French.
So what we're talking about is the Gorman Revolution.
Yeah, we're all over.
Yeah, so
we're talking about this show as if you guys have seen it.
Yeah. Okay, so let me do this. Let me do this. You're right. So the first 6 episodes, your review, real quick. Just quick.
Lots and lots of setup, but like the first, especially like the first 3 episodes, I didn't really care for. As it starts to build towards the Gorman stuff, that's when we start cooking. Like there's a couple episodes where they just waste Andor's time, where he steals a TIE fighter advanced.
What's the name of the show?
Terribly, by the way, Andor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
But I feel like they had him steal. I feel like they didn't have him do much in the beginning, so they wrote this TIE fighter plot to be like, oh yeah, we need to have Andor in the Andor show, because let's be real, this show should be called Star Wars Rebels, but that was already a show.
Yes,
this show or Star Wars The Rebellion. Because this show is so much more than just about
Rise.
Cassian Andor.
Like Rise of the Rebellion. It is literally
Cassian Andor is a catalyst for the rebellion. Yes, he's a nice piece of the founding fathers, as you will, of the rebellion. But he's not the only one. Luthen, Kleya, Mon Mothma. This show has so many great characters that are fleshed out, given time to grow. You understand them. All these characters, they feel like real people. They have wants, needs, desires, like all the things that a real character should have. A lot of shows, characters will just be flat, like the Acolyte is a good example. Like one-dimensional characters with one fucking personality trait. Yeah. They're so fucking, hollow. Every character, like even the most minor character here, has more depth than some of these other shows. That it's wild to me.
I feel like you could build up the character more when you have them downtrodden and you feel for them. With Acolyte, I think it was more like, I don't know, they were trying to make something more of the chosen one or the dyad in the Force, and they weren't getting into it that much. I think the Force is just too much. It's like nobody knows it. Everyone disagrees on how the Force should be in the Star Wars universe, because George Lucas isn't there to explain it. So, but with this, it's like they go to each character, explain how they're affected by the Empire, what's going on with them, how the Imperials mess with them, it's Ferric for Andor and Bix, and then his buddy that ended up on the wheat planet.
Every story isn't the same. It's not like, the Empire killed my family. What happened to you? The Empire. That's like Rebel Moon. That's what happens in Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the bad guys because and then copy paste on every single character. It's like,
and then Well, and then the big controversy, because Andor gets the TIE fighter thing, then Bix is struggling with like drug addiction and stuff in the beginning.
Well, and she's she's still kind of probably reeling off of that machine that tortured her, the torture machine.
Was that too real for you? Because that's the one complaint I get from people when I talk about it. It's like it's too real. It's Star Wars. It's supposed to. I'm like,
maybe Leia was screaming like that when they brought that probe droid in with the little needle in New Hope, but George cut away.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah, so it's just like.
And there's been torture and stuff in Star Wars before.
I mean, yeah.
Literally, Darth Vader chokes a man from across the galaxy.
Han Solo gets tortured, and we hear his screams. Like, but he mans up. No, I'm not taking away from her. But it was cool that they did show the PTSD, and she kind of had to heal herself. So, I mean, that wasn't too real, was it? Did it take a little longer than I think an episode shorter of her blowing that guy up. But her and Andor in the beginning was stuck on their character arcs for too long, I feel.
Well, Andor did this thing where he would go through an event where I'm like, okay, he's gonna be all in now, and then he still wants to run away.
No, he wants to go back to Bix.
He still wants to run away, and then it's like, okay, the massacre on what was the planet? Gorman. Yeah, I'm like, and like the emotional scene where Cassian Andor, some of his best acting, he's like crying, listening to the news feed about the Gorman massacre. I'm like, okay, he's locked in now. Yeah. He's all rebellion. Nope. No. And then we had this debate because at the end of the series, spoiler alert, Bix has a baby, and it's like you're like saying something. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad Bix didn't tell him about the baby, because then his ass definitely would have ran away.
No, and I wasn't saying Bix should have said. I should have said, because what's her face was hinting around. She knew that Bix had the baby.
Yeah.
Mon's cousin goes to him and says, "You should really talk to Bix. She probably and he goes like, she doesn't need me around, like." Not yet. And he's like, she does more than you know, probably. And so I think she should have said like, hey, well, she's pregnant, like she has your kid.
How many pushes does Andor need though? Like let's think about this. Like his mother is killed by the Empire. His father was hung in a square and killed by the Empire. Well, his adopted parents, both of them basically died to the Empire and won the rebellion. Ferrix, all the stuff on Ferrix, the fucking prison where they were making the Death Star stuff, and there's so many instances of Andor should be ready to go all in against the Empire.
Because it's not revenge.
But he's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
But that would be him seeking revenge for it. And what they didn't want Andor to seek revenge. They didn't want the main character to be all about vendetta. They wanted him to do it because it was the right thing to do. And so that's why he has all these different fucking interactions.
True? Because he's really only doing it because Bix left him.
Because he was told by the Force user.
I
And
think she saw his death.
When
they never say, but do you think that she saw him die?
I don't know, dead. I think the Force told her that he was an important key, which he is, because it's even more important now, because he's literally the catalyst for them getting the plans of the Death Star. So I think that was cool too.
He's Kyle Katarn.
Yes, exactly. Like he's the key because he
saves Mon Mothma. Like he does a lot.
So, dude. All right. So we talked about Bix and Cassian's story arc in the beginning. The Mon Mothma's plotline, like her being a rich senator, selling off her daughter for money so she won't get in trouble and be in the rebellion. Luther fucking telling her, you gotta kill him. Like her best friend is like pretty much saying like, give me money or else, I'm gonna
extortion.
Extortion, blackmail. So Luthen says, end it. And she's all like, and then she realizes she has to, and then she gets drunk. I think that's the realest episode.
Oh, when she's dancing?
Yeah, because she's all like, this is my last night, like pretty much being fucking me. And it's like my daughter doesn't love me, my husband doesn't love me, my friends don't love me. So she's all like, it's like I am the rebellion now. So she just fucking goes all out, has her last night, and so then when she when Luthen pretty much talks her into like, listen, we gotta go. Time is now. That's it. And then when the Gorman thing happens, oh my god, it's
the way that they built that. It's so perfect.
Oh my god,
this show is how I envision the Empire. When I think of Star Wars, so they're so fucking evil, and the way that they trick people into thinking it's their fault.
Okay, so Gorman, they need parts for the Death Star. The Emperor's telling everyone, oh, it's an energy.
You were 100 right with your theory where it was all a ruse by Jyn Erso, because that was.
Yeah.
He was sending them on a wild goose chase. So, Galen Erso, I mean.
Galen Erso, yeah.
Jyn is the daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Galen kind of is the reason all that happened on Gorman, if you really think about it.
Yeah, because Galen Erso, he designed the Death, or he knows how to get the Death Star to work. Like the Geonosians designed the Death Star, and then he's the scientist who's gonna actually putting it together to get it to work. So my theory is that he was prolonging the Death Star, saying like, listen, we need this. You remember the name of it?
Calcite.
Calcite. He's like, we need calcite for the Death Star.
Yeah.
And so, do we need it? Do we not need it? I don't know, but like he needs to prolong it so he could get the word out to either his daughter or Saul Guerrera.
Tactic,
yeah. So he says, I need this mineral on this, but the thing is that they can't get the mineral because the Senate's still enacted and the people of the planet aren't gonna leave. So what they do is there's an energy project, and he goes to Gorman and Fennec. He's like, listen, we need a way to get this planet to be ours and stuff. So that's when the lady from the first season, what's her name?
Are you talking about Deidre?
Deidre
Mira?
She plans. She says like, listen, fake rebellion resistance. Like get their resistance to do it like a terrorist attack. And then we go in and we handle it. We come in with the SWAT gear and stuff.
Arrest them first, then make them famous.
So yeah, it's so good. The rebellion's trying to get Gorman people to like fight with them, but Luthen's still kind of hesitant. So they send Mon Mothma's cousin to kind of scope it out. And she's like, yeah, we can destroy the Empire here. They have some energy project. We don't know what it is. We'll figure it out, but then we'll. So they do that attack, and then he sends Andor to see if it's really worth it. And to me, Andor doesn't need to be there. He didn't need to send Andor. It could have been anyone, and it would have.
He's the messenger. That's the overall theme of the season.
But.
No, the overall theme is that he's always where he needs to be. That was like what they said.
He didn't need to be there though. It would have been the same thing. Because he literally goes to Luthen and says, no, it's not worth it.
But he was an eyewitness to Gorman too, so it does.
Okay, true.
It does help when he talks to Mon Mothma and stuff.
So I mean, the Gorman incident, it's crazy because it's like it's a perfect like Nazism.
You're fine.
Blurt that out. It's a perfect like Germans of World War II, like those evil dictators and stuff. They have these evil regimes, and I don't want to get flagged. I know.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's just like a World War II movie to me. It's like they plan out.
Oh yeah.
They
the
fake
French
it.
Resistance. They got like Molotov cocktails. I love how we have Molotov cocktails on the table next to blaster pistols.
Yeah.
You got the old science with the new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a good like build up because it's like they show the resistance rising up, think they're doing the right thing, but then the leader, the father, goes like something's wrong, like this isn't right. So they start having a rally, and so they bring SWAT gear, and the Empire's just like, all right, let them rally. So, but what you also like is Cassian showing up a year before, right? He shows up a year before, and he helps that guy out, the hotel bellboy.
He's like seeing what's going on Gorman.
Yeah.
He learns about the Tarkin massacre.
Yes.
And that was really cool.
Which is in Legends, because that was actually the original Gorman incident that got Mon Mothma to unite different systems into the rebellion.
Two things on Gorman. Two massacres. Two genocides in the same location.
Whoever wrote this, hats off to him, used that from Legends and made that like the OG Gorman incident where Tarkin just landed an Imperial starship on people protesting the Empire and destroys them. Just flattens
you protesters, I sink you.
So yeah, that's probably his foul stench. But
all the dead people. Man.
So yeah, this gentleman talks to Cassian about it, and he pops up again a year later, and then gives Cassian a deal on a hotel room. He's like, I didn't.
His dad was killed in the Gorman massacre.
So
he was one of the guys crushed.
So he's the guy looking for vendetta.
His dad pushed him out of the way and saved him.
Yeah. So see, that guy joined the resistance because of father.
This is what I'm saying.
Cassian didn't.
The show, literally, this small little character, this hotel employee, has more depth and character than a lot of main characters in the show. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Oh, but Cassian gets sent to kill Deidre. That's right. The second time.
He's there to
that's his mission. So. But yeah, and then we have Deidre and Cyril there.
They're in a relationship.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's so weird. But Cyril, they worm him into the resistance, and he's giving all the information to the Empire. Dude, he's
like a double agent.
Yes, I love that because it's like secret agent man type thing. It's like this season has everything.
No, I love it too because when Cyril sees the carnage on Gorman, I'm like, you wanted to be involved, you wanted to be someone, you wanted to be a part of a bigger galaxy.
Yes.
Here you go, asshole. You literally just caused hundreds of lives.
And he's affected by it because
he
wanted to
when
be
he
the
strangles Deidre, that's a fucking deep
Oh my God.
Too.
because the Empire, you could see it all leading up to the massacre. They have police, but then they have stormtroopers because they use police force, which is just
like riot police.
Yeah, like
and
officers.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, so the stormtroopers are the hardcore people. They make them really bad villains. Like in the show, the stormtroopers, if you see them coming,
and they're not,
someone's gonna die.
Yeah, they're not bad at aiming in this.
No,
they kill people.
No, dude.
Deadly aim.
No,
it makes what Obi-Wan says more sense in New Hope. Stormtroopers are so accurate, Well,
that's what.
That's Alex Guinness.
Well, so that's my theory on Darth Vader and stormtroopers.
No, I love that theory.
Is that
makes sense?
Darth Vader told the stormtroopers, because technically they're the 501st, because it's Vader's legion, that he said, like, listen, I want them all alive.
That's why he scolds Boba Fett about the disintegration too. Like, I'm fucking serious. So, no disintegration.
From our point of view, a certain point of
Jedi's point of view,
we see the stormtroopers missing, but it's really a Vader command saying, like, I want them alive. That's why they stun Princess Leia. That's why they don't kill Luke. I mean, he wants Luke, especially after the Death Star in Empire and stuff. And then he wants Han Solo alive because Han Solo was the one who helped Luke. So he just wants all these people alive because he wants to interrogate them. Mm-hmm. He wants to know. Why did Luke Skywalker survive?
What are your intentions with my daughter? Han Solo. Do you intend to marry my daughter?
I mean, he planned out this nice dinner for them, and just Han pulls out a guns and blasts him.
He's like, he put out his hand to say hey, and Han Solo shoots him in the hand. I will sing hello. Happy birthday. That's a terrible Darth.
Freeze him.
Yeah.
But anyways, the stormtroopers are scary in this show. Like because they have the stormtrooper outfits, but the officer's hat later for their SWAT team on Coruscant. It's crazy.
Yeah, because it's like the reverse of the Republic commandos. They have like stormtrooper commandos, which I kind of like. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
So the Gorman incident, it just leads up.
10 out of 10.
Oh my god, yeah, it's such
a setup and the payoff. It's some of the best payoff because they set it up, slow burn, set up, explosion.
Oh my god, yeah. And then that, and then also, well, leading up to that, they had well, I guess not really leading up, the Mon Mothma and Luthen kind of drama, because Luthen was on the planet for Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding, so there was a weird thing with them. And Mon Mothma was scared because then Fennec comes and he's just there to kind of party too, but they're in the museum, and there's a cool scene with Clea where she's trying to get the listening device on that rich guy's
when it's
plate.
Bleeding and she's turning the
thing. So and it's such a good scene because you think she's gonna get caught in all this and the drama, and dude, the acting. This is her first acting gig.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
She came out of school and she got this job, and I was like, I figured she probably did a bunch of plays, but I'm like, oh my god, she did an espionage movie perfect in a TV show about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so good, and you could feel her the love, but then the tension for Luthen. Like, dude, you're slipping up. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like. And Luthen kind of is.
Had that lunch on Naboo?
Yes. Oh my gosh. And so
that scene took a turn.
Well, we could talk about that because Luthen.
Well, because we were talking about Clea, so I thought that counted.
Because in these last episodes, it's like
Clea backstory and Luthen. We get a episode where Clea is going to save Luthen because Deidre confronts him at his shop. Like, after all these years, here you were, she says, just sitting there. Because Deidre comes into his shop. Oh, show me your things. How do you know if they're fake or not? And he's like, oh, he's whining and dining her, and then she pulls out this box, and it's the fucking device from season 1, the first arc. She slams it down. She's like, what do you think this is worth, or whatever? And then the jig is up. And then he was showing her this ancient dagger, and so Luthen stabs himself with the dagger so that they can't learn. Oh, I need to specify more. Luthen, but just before he gets confronted by Deidre, Luthen learns about the Death Star, basically. He has this informant that he talks to in this park, and he's like, protect me and my family, get me out of here. And then Luthen learns about some of the details about the weapon, what they need, like the Kyber, the code words.
So that, because it all links into it. So the informant is actually part of the ISB and is partnered, is part of the ISB council with Deidre, and then the person who Deidre, her protege, who kind of took over everything. So Gorman was a success, but she's stressed out because Cyril died. So
he gets shot in the fucking head.
I'm sorry. There's a scene with Andor.
I loved it.
With Cyril coming up, and he finally finds Andor. He's gonna end the guy who kind of ruined his career, ruined his life, and all this stuff. And he points the gun at Andor, and he's been chasing Andor, and Andor's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And he literally looks at him and goes, "Who are you?"
Yeah. What? Why are you so mad at me?
So he has no idea the connection between.
Devastated.
Yeah. And so then he just gets shot in the head, and Cyril's gone.
And the episode ends with the news feed of Gorman, and
yes,
we have Cyril's mom, and we
oh
zoom in on her, and she's crying, and I'm like, God damn, that brings a level to it, because it's like, yes, all these people probably have families and like lives, and
yes,
you get the show really shows you somebody
even
that's
the innocent
destined,
get hurt,
destined to die by a fucking someone he didn't know who it was, just a random fire, like the other girl.
No, it wasn't a random fire.
He was protecting Andor.
I got
but I meant like Mon Mothma's cousin. She's like in love with that one like Hindu girl or whatever, and she just gets killed by a stray blaster shot from two rebels that are fighting over a gun.
Yes.
Not even a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That's a great scene too. When I can't remember her name, but Mon Mothma's cousin is like talking to the guy that killed her girlfriend, and she's just like, "Don't you fucking cry. She was a fucking warrior, and now she's dead because of some snivelly ass little bitch." She doesn't cuss, but she's like, "You're gonna spend the rest of your life making up for this," and that's pretty cool. And then he ends up saving Andor with the truck and slamming the K2 into the wall. Fucking Terminator ass scene. Because like during the Gorman riots, why did they wait so long to release the KX droids? Just send them out first.
I don't know.
They waited so long, and you could just You could just save all your green stormtroopers and just send them out at the beginning. But
yeah,
no, they didn't, because that would have made them look more violent, because they had the snipers that shot their own guy. The Empire shoots their own guy to instigate the fight. Because I'm watching this, I'm like, please don't make the rebels throw the first throw, the first stone. Have the Empire be so fucked up that they instigate. They instigated
it because it was a peaceful protest. It was, and then it went bad.
They had Molotovs on them. So I guess that was like in case shit goes wrong, but they brought those Molotovs. But it was peaceful, yeah. I guess they just brought those as a contingency. But yeah, like fucking Imperial snipers are on the roof, and like during the carnage, they're just sniping civilians, popping off civilians. Fucking that Gorman episode. Episode 8, Who Are You? Fucking 10 out of 10.
But we were talking about that because Deidre she starts crying. Do you think she's crying because of Cyril, or because she realized she just created a genocide?
She worked for the wrong. She's been working for the wrong side.
Then why go after Luthen?
I think she was. I think she realized she's working for the wrong side when Krennic is like, he's like, you missed your chance. You missed your calling to be a great rebel, because you gave them everything. You pretty much were helping them, even though you didn't know.
Because what happened? We were talking about the Luthens in at the ISB. And he has a family and all that, but the reason that he got the information was because he fucking went into Deidre's computer system, and it was all her passcodes that he used to get in the computer system, and he got the files, and he knew the power. He told Luthen the power thing was guys, they want Kyber, they want Jedha, and so
all the stuff from Rogue One,
yes,
basically setting up Rogue One perfectly.
The information from Rogue One, Luthen gets, so. And then they said Jen Erso was the designer of it. So he mentions Jen Erso.
Or Galen.
Galen, thank you. We keep doing it. Yeah, I know.
Because Jen is the main character.
Galen Erso. So he gives that to Luthen. Luthen tells Clea, and it was all the guys and stuff, and it's like, it's over. Like, they're coming after me. Because that's what he says. Like, he knows they're going to come after us and stuff. Like, she knows who I am and all this. And then he's burning up the radio, and that's when she comes in with the Imperial thing and says, like, oh. And he stabs himself.
Yeah, but the way he talks to Deidre, remember he says to Deidre?
Yeah,
do you remember the line?
Yeah, when Deidre says like, he goes, the galaxy, or no, the rebellion isn't here anymore. It's flown away.
Yep, it's everywhere.
And there's a whole galaxy out there ready to disgust you.
And then they cut to Deidre's face and
like she goes like, and I can't wait for you to tell me about it. But then she hears the radio sparking, but then he turns around, and then we get that scene where he falls down and
super cool.
Oh man, he's all like, no, I'm done. It's not here anymore.
Death before dishonor.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And then they try to revive him with like their med care.
I need him alive. Yeah, and he's not aliving again.
And then Clea, like a badass, has to break into the hospital.
And that's when we get those.
And unplug him.
that's when we get those
her
scenes.
dad, basically.
Yes, and we get those flashbacks. So when
the way they intercut the flashbacks,
yes,
it was so perfect, especially the detonator sequence.
Because
it fits so
because
clean.
it's like, how do these people know each other? And it's like they were both broken people. He didn't want to be part of the Empire. And he knew what was going on. And then was he a what was he a sergeant of? Was it like a starship? They didn't really get into that, did they?
Yeah.
She was just hiding because they were attacking someone's plane. They were being an Empire. And so she was hiding, and so he decided this wasn't his game. So he took relics. He stole relics, and they started selling them for money, and it looks like that. But then he noticed Clea. She knew the game.
Yeah,
she knew the game. So he saved her, took her, and she pretended to be his daughter at one time. And she goes like, "Am I your daughter now?" And I love this where he goes like, "Right now you will be, but we'll be whoever we need to be, whenever we need to." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's such a good like, yeah, we'll be whatever we need to be." So it's like. And you can see them growing up, and he tells her like, "Listen, I know you said you could do this, but I want to give you the chance to walk away." Like.
But yeah, Clea is a really interesting character, and they flesh her out really well. The scene of them on Naboo, having lunch.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting into.
And then Luthen puts the detonator on the table, and
he tells her like, "You can leave now," and all this. You said your game and all this, and he's like, "Okay, yeah," and then. Yeah, it's like they don't say it's Naboo, but you can tell by the background what it is.
I was like, is that Naboo? The architecture looks very.
But you know why they're doing it on Naboo, right?
Why?
Because it's Palpatine's home planet. It's where he's from. Right. So they wanted him, like, you know what? It's like you took our homes. Now I'm gonna mess up yours. So he just destroyed the bridge, like the palace and stuff. But I know.
I love the whole. That Rebels doing like a reverse Palpatine where, you're going to wait 20 years to enact your plan? Well, we're going to do the same damn thing to you. How about that? Because they kind of did. It's like Palpatine had a 20-year long con.
Yeah.
Then the Rebels, like Mon Mothma and Luthen, kind of had their own long con that they were doing. Because Mon Mothma is kind of like not really a reverse, but she is trying to win people over to her
Well,
cause.
I think, because what had pushed her over was the Gorman incident. And then that's when they said, okay, you have to leave, you have to join the Resistance. And Bail Organa says, yeah, you have to go. I'll stay here and kind of keep terms. That was another thing I liked too. Bail's team, like betraying, like it wasn't Bail himself it was his team that had a Imperial force on her. And I think it was the same lady who was breaking the radio in this last episode. But yeah. And then also, I like how Bail is kind of the leader of the Resistance. Like, it's him making all the shots, calling all the shots.
At first, I didn't like the changing of cast, but he was fine. He was a good actor. He did it perfectly.
I heard that they cut a lot of story because they didn't want him to overshadow Jimmy Smith's character, which is fine because Jimmy Smith, they asked, and I don't know what movie would he be making to say no to this,
right?
So
everybody
said,
knows you specifically from Star Wars.
It was scheduling conflict, but he did Kenobi, so I don't see him saying no to this. I'm sure he's probably making more money somewhere else.
Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And like, it just he had different charisma. Like he did seem more like a military leader, and especially ordering them around and stuff. Like, but that's why I was all like I like how it's Leia Organa's dad.
I love how dangerous and serious the world feels.
Yeah.
It's
especially
not playtime. Everybody gets killed or stabbed by a lightsaber. They just run to a fucking Bacta tank and everything is fine. I hate that. Like, and I watch this and it's like, oh, people can actually die. Things are permanent. There's actually consequences. It's kind of nice. Kind of reminds me that Star Wars is the actual dangerous world. Like, Qui-Gon's not the only one to die.
It's a Star War.
Yeah.
Star War.
Yeah. My God, the Gorman stuff is so good. And then Andor, like, becoming like the protector VIP. He's gotta he's gotta go and save Mon Mothma. And I like that scene a lot. Like you get like the whole like resolution with the dirty the driver.
Yeah,
when Andor is like, I found her. What?
Pew, pew,
Who are
pew,
you?
pew.
She got no time for that.
I love the horror on her face both times when he just flat out murders some people.
He quick draws some people pretty sick.
And it's not her life, so she's fucking scared, and I love it because it shows the difference. Like she's not like just like looking like, oh my God. She screams like, what are you doing? Like that's life now.
Yeah.
This is your life now.
Kill or be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the last half of the season, they utilize Andor pretty damn good. But I like how, like we were talking about, this isn't really just the Andor show. Yeah, he's, the anchor or whatever, but this show is so much more than just him.
So to me, like, I love Diego Luna, I love Andor and all that stuff. But to me, the episodes without him kind of shine more to me. like, I don't know if it's because I like the backstory of like how the rebellion rose and all that without him, because his storylines focus more in on him, but it's part of it.
Yeah, he would like come in and out of the story.
Yes, yeah, and some of them shine better than like the Gorman ones. It made sense, like he was in there a little bit. It was kind of like Boba Fett in his own story with the Mandalorian, like coming in and out, like, you know.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So, this worked good. Boba Fett, it was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, just make a Mandalorian season 3 then, like. So it's just like, this is how you write stuff, because it's like you catalyst this character into Rogue One, and then having him find out all the information and him being the key to Rogue One, him getting all that information, finding, because he's going to meet that guy he takes out in Rogue One, right?
The first scene
I'm only going to talk to him.
There's
a pilot.
They're perfectly set up. So the last time we see Andor here, immediately the next time we see him is going to be in Rogue One. So they perfectly tie it in where you can watch Andor, then watch Rogue One right after, and it'll be. Yeah. I like that. You know, this show was like intended to enrich in the movie, make the movie better. Yeah. What a concept! You actually want to like add to the lore in the franchise and make the other stuff that came before better. I actually, wow, not worse. You don't want to Hodo maneuver it and ruin all space battles?
Well, it's like, people were saying, do we need an Andor story? We know how it ends. F you,
I know, I kind of thought that a little bit. I was probably one of those people.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize they were going to make a show more about the rebellion, not so much Andor. I think that's where I was like, Andor, we know he dies on Scarif. Why?
It was the name of the show, but
tension. He's not going to get killed.
They took advantage of it and said, like, this is how the rebellion rises.
That could die. Like, it's what makes it so good.
Because, like in the video game, Force Unleashed, that was how the rebellion rose. Remember at the end when he dies, and so they use his family crest as a symbol, and then it's Leia and her dad and a bunch of other people.
The First Order uses his name for something else.
I know, really though. Well, that Starkiller was his fake name. Remember, his real name was something else, but I forget. It's Malik something, but yeah, it's just like, oh god, it's just for them to do this with the show and like, top-notch writing, it's Star Wars, and I'm so glad to hear you say like, oh, it got me into Star Wars again. I'm gonna watch Rebels.
Oh, I did.
Because, dude, when
if your faith in Star Wars is waning, if you're on the
Andor,
fence, watch Andor. See the end. It'll reignite your passion.
They connect it to a cartoon. Like, they didn't have Andor take her to Yavin 4. They said, no, we want people from Yavin 4 that's been on Yavin 4. Who's been on Yavin 4 before? If you ever watch Rebels, the cartoon, Hera and the Ghost.
I'm gonna watch
the crew of the Ghost. They've been on Yavin 4 working with them. They're that side of the team. So it's kind of cool they brought that side and then the people from Andor together. And like, you could watch that episode after Cassian takes Mon Mothma the Coruscant to that place. And then you could watch that episode where they take her and she does the speech. Because they mention the speech in the show, but they don't do it. They don't play it. They say, no, it's already been done. Go watch that.
The storytelling device, too, to tell the story through years.
Yes.
And we get to see, like, the evolution of Yavin.
That's smart. Yeah, because it's
beautiful.
Beautiful. Especially with the lead up to Gorman. It's like, year one, okay, everything's okay. They're still successful, but then they go to the next one. It's like, it's getting darker.
The show perfectly encapsulates the Empire. They go to this planet, this remote planet, and they have this secret meeting, this secret summit where the Empire's all fucking, how do we fuck over Gorman? They're like, how do we make them look bad? And I'm just like, I like this. Like, they would be doing this shady shit, meeting in secret, and then director Krennic, and we get that. Apparently, that scene was ad-libbed where he puts his finger on Deidre's head like that. She didn't know he was gonna do that in the reaction. Fucking good. I gotta get what's his name? Ben Mendelsohn?
I forget.
Yeah, he's a great fucking actor, and comes back into Krennic like he never left.
Yeah. Because he said even like he's like to play a character and then have credit to build the Death Star. He's like, I'll take that all day. That'd be a nice little thing.
This is my achievement.
Yeah, it's like.
And then Tarkin's like, delicious. Thanks for all your hard work. Mine now.
Tarkin's the one to show the power.
Yeah, reaps all the glory. So then you wrote down Maud's husband is banging the daughter's mother-in-law.
God, yeah. I saw that. So at the end, they have this montage of how...
I like it because he's depressed. He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
He's drinking all sad.
Well, he's probably broke now. But he's drinking with the mother-in-law of his daughter. Like the son... The guy who married the daughter, that's his mother.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's weird. But yeah, they show all these people and what they're doing right before Rogue One. And so Mon's fucking having breakfast with her cousin, and you show Bix with the child, and that's the last scene, and it's just like,
Poe Dameron?
Yeah. So
headcanon. Who is that?
To me, my headcanon, that's Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron is adopted by the parents he thinks were the people who raised him, or they raised him and they were his parents.
So the baby was born one BBY.
Yeah.
So that's right when New Hope begins.
One BBY or no, it might have been during. It might have been 0. Yeah. It might have been the same year.
No, because she must have been pregnant on one BBY, because that's when she left Andor.
Yeah.
While pregnant.
Yeah.
Ran off to that farm planet that they were living on before.
The farm planet, but the thing is my thought is...
The planet from Rebel Moon, basically.
Yes, yeah.
Used way better here.
So my headcanon was like, okay, well, the Empire rises back. They get stronger in Empire Strikes Back during that time.
How long is the conflict between New Hope and Return of the Jedi?
A year.
Like, it's 1 year?
No. It takes place between 4 years.
So the conflict from New Hope to Return is about 4 years? Like in timeline? Yeah. Okay. So then that baby would be about 4 or 5 by the Return of the Jedi. Yeah. 20 years later, 25.
Or 30.
Poe Dameron is about 30.
No, Poe Dameron was born on Yavin 4 during the rebellion.
I like the idea of that being Poe Dameron.
Yeah,
especially like his love for the X-wing.
He's a pilot.
The Yavin was like the X-wings
Cassian.
and
Yeah, because I'm saying like maybe something happens, she dies, she has a mission, doesn't make it back, so 2 people on Yavin 4 adopt the kid because she has to go to Yavin 4 to do the mission, and he's raised by these 2 lovers who are in the resistance. I didn't know my parents because they were part of the resistance. That's what all he said. They mentioned that Leia and his parents were friends because they were part of the resistance. What if it's just the people who raised them? And like maybe it's Poe Dameron because
so Leia knew Poe since he was a child, and she still doesn't trust him or believe in him over Hodo.
What do you mean believe in him?
In Last Jedi, when they think he's going crazy and starting a mutiny for no reason.
Hodor thinks that, not Leia.
Doesn't Leia stun him though?
Because he's being an ass. He's not following directive.
I don't know. Let's not get into Last Jedi.
No. Because this.
I want to open.
No. Okay, Leia. She wanted him to follow protocol. That's it. And she thought she could. He respected her enough to do that, but he wasn't. So she's getting pissed off. Like, listen, you can't do this. Yes, I know we're friends. We're personal. Right. I knew your parents. But I'm a general of this fleet.
You can't use that on me.
Stop. Do
like
it in private.
Personal preference.
He's literally doing it in front of everyone. It's like, dude, hey, know your role. Like you can't talk to me like that. Just not in front of everyone else.
I mean,
so
I agree with you, but also that scene is so fucking stupid because Hodor could have just said the real reason instead of being all secret.
No.
I don't know who to trust.
Because she does. Hodor doesn't know Poe though. Like
Dameron
Leia does.
Destroyed Starkiller Base. He's not a traitor. There'd be no way. There'd be no absolute. That'd be so fucking stupid.
No, but you don't know who he trusts, and she doesn't know. You can't, because then it's like a telephone game. Fair enough. You have to be.
You are defending Last Jedi.
Yeah, no, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm gonna defend in Last Jedi. That's the only thing I'm gonna because the Hodor maneuver is stupid. Like,
I'll agree with you on the Poe Dameron Leia thing.
Yeah, okay. No, well, even the Hodor thing, she doesn't know who the fuck he is, and plus he's a man.
Research.
He's a man.
Yeah.
The writers had to make a woman not like men. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Here we go.
Okay, anyways, back to Andor. 10 out of 10.
Damn it. This is where we had to go down that Poe Dameron.
Well, we'll watch that and we'll review it.
Yeah.
But as for Andor, I mean, dude, rating? 11 out of 10?
I would have gone lower than a 10 if episode 8 through 12 weren't just absolute bangers, but no, it's a 10 out of 10. Well, even if it starts slow, it's the payoffs are too good. It's just too good to deny.
Yeah.
Luthen's story, the way that ends, beautiful. Andor, I like Andor 1,000 times more as a character now. I didn't really like him in Rogue One.
Nah.
I thought he just stole Jin's thunder, but now it's perfect because he had his own thing where we saw him as a kid, we saw Jin as a kid in her movie, so we saw both of them grow up. We saw their whole lives leading up to that moment.
It's sad they didn't have a childhood. It's much like the fucking Jedi. They use kids as soldiers, and then it's well, it wasn't just the Jedi. It was the whole rebellion. You had to grow up as
the galaxy became a messy ass place. Well, it was always kind of messy, but it became very messy.
Because Luthen said he's like I'm fighting for a sunrise I'll never see.
Yeah.
And that was so perfect.
Oh yeah, like some of his speeches in
Oh,
season
God.
1 are so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Oh, man.
He's the best character in season 1 without a doubt.
Oh my God.
Like the first season is like Luthen's season.
I got a question for you. Want to go watch Rogue One?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
All right. Everybody like, share, subscribe. 10 out of 10 for Andor. That was our review. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.